Two Sheds Gabby here. How you doing, folks? Hey, I know that it's probably due for me to go through a box of pennies. Oh, my wife's been working every day at this job she's doing, and I made dinner today, working on my Bible study. And I came in here to sit down, and it's like, oh, the pennies are in the other room. There's two boxes of nickels here. I think I'll do nickels. I know that's terrible, but that's what I'm going to do, and I hope that I find some good stuff tonight. Hey, folks, a subscriber was kind enough to send me these buffalo nickels, and he was hoping that I could try the date finder and see if the dates would show up on any of them, so we'll give that a try. I had to use the 50x viewer with my magnifier, but I could just barely tell that this one was 1914, this one was 1919, this one was 1915, and I just couldn't get a reading on this one. I just couldn't do it. Those are some pretty old coins there. Third row, 1946. The S is the one you want. There's only like 13 million, and the P is what we get. I'd really like to get two 2024 Ds in one box. I've never done that yet. That would be pretty swift, pretty neat. Row number 7, 1940. Looking for the D or S. They're both under 50 million. It's the P, over 50 million. Not much happening so far. I came to two dark ones in a row. It's like, oh, I hope that's a good one, but they weren't. Now the 8th row, folks, and here is a 1958. The P this time has only like 17 million, and the D has pushing 200 million. So what do we get? Oh, hey, we got the Philadelphia. That's pretty, 17 million is pretty low mintage. Well, that's cool. What do you get? It's Cracker Jacks. So I teach the Wednesday night Bible class at the church I'm a part of, and I'm teaching the book of Genesis, and we're going through it and making applications to different things. You know, the whole book of the Old Testament is the preparation for the Christ, and so we talk about these things when we get to them. A lot of it's just the story of the things that took place with, you know, Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and Joseph. But anyway, I'm in like chapter 36. There's 50 chapters in the book. I spend several hours a week prepping for the class. And sometimes you just go through it pretty quickly. Sometimes there's more discussion. Oh, there's a 1946. Philadelphia, I believe that's the high mintage one. But when this class is over, I'm going to ask our young preacher if he will take my class for a little while. You know, pick a topic or a book or something. And I'm wanting to do a lot of getting out of town. As we haven't done that for a long time. You know, we go out, pop up to Indiana to see the kids and some friends on day trips and stuff occasionally, but I'm wanting to do more than that. And then come September, sometime we're hoping to go up to Put-in-Bay Island and mess around. In the 10th row, there's a 1957 here. And again, the P is like 39 million, and the D is like 140. So we're hoping for the P again. Not this time. We get the D. But we were wanting to do that in September. We're wanting to. I've been telling my cousin we'd visit him in Florida. He's got a super nice place down there, and we just all the stuff on the house. We just have not been able to get away. I bought the house from him, so he kind of understands. But and I'm wanting to just go out and do my hobo cruising and go into little, just pick a state. It don't matter, Tennessee or whatever, and just go into the little country towns and see what they look like, and go in, pop in, and buy some coins if they'll sell them to me. Get a hotel somewhere. I would just really enjoy that for not every week, but in and out of the summer. Just when we decided we were going to sell our place up in Indiana, we said we was going to take a trip to Texas. And we took off, and there's a 1939. Cool. We took off for Texas and made it to Little Rock, Arkansas, and our car broke down. And that has dashed. Ever since then, we've been busy on houses. Another filly. So that was several years ago. And now we're hoping that we can maybe make it happen this year. 14th row, folks, and here finally came to a 2024 P. I was beginning to wonder if I was going to see any. Got one now. It's good. Yeah, our car broke down in Little Rock, and it was terrible. Funny thing about that car, when I came to Kentucky, I took work for a while as a courier, and my car was a Dodge Journey. That's what we broke down in, and I got worked on some and got it working some, and I was delivering some medication to I delivered medications to people, and I delivered payrolls to people, all kind of stuff like that. But I stopped in and delivered medication to this guy, and he goes, "I see you're driving a Dodge Journey." I said, "Yeah." He says, "What do you think about it?" I said, "I've never in my life spent more money on car repairs than this jalopy." And he said, "Put her there, pard." He said, "I agree." He goes, "Same with me." He goes, "The biggest piece of junk I've ever had." They're pretty cars. This was a 2010. Very attractive cars in mine and my wife's opinion. Oh my goodness, the money we put into that and making repairs. I really would have been way better off just rolling it off into a hauler somewhere and went and found something else. 16th row and 2024 P number 2. And when I was, I don't remember exactly, 12 or 13 or something like that, I had done really good in school. And then one year I started falling behind a little bit, and somebody suggested, well, he might have dyslexia. And so they had me checked for it. And of course, the people that check for it also have a dyslexia school. So everybody they have checked for it has dyslexia, how that goes. I worked for a group home one time, and these were all kids 12 to 17 years old. And we took 9 of them to the eye doctor. And guess what? 9 of them came back with prescription glasses. Unbelievable. Anyway, that's kind of how I look at dyslexia. I think they've since determined that it's part of the problem is because all the public schools want to teach everybody the same, and if anybody's slightly different, then they've got the problem and not the school. And I believe that's been proven to be a real big problem. But anyway, that's beside the point. Let me get to the next row. Next row. I said that's not really the point. It really is. It is the point. There's, boys want to be moving, they want to be active, and they don't do good sitting still sometimes for 6 hours a day. You need to teach them in little spurts, and let them get out and run, and that's what I wanted to do. But anyway, they started sending me to this. There's a 1956 Denver. They started sending me to this Saturday school for dyslexia. Hated it with a passion. Oh my goodness. As if I didn't already spend too much time in classes. And one of the things they did was they had it was almost like sandpaper. It was a rough board, and you had to do your letters on this board. It's like, give me a break, people. With your finger, so that it would feel rough, And that was one of their training tools. I don't remember all the other stuff, but oh my goodness. I got to where, and then my dad had started taking some overtime, so he was working a lot on Saturdays. And I would get up on Saturday mornings and I would just take off and hide in the woods and stuff. And I'd get in trouble, but I did it week after week until they finally said, okay, let's take him out. And, later the forced busing stuff started. And there was riots in town, and we boycotted school even more when I was like 16, almost 17. Next row again. And like I said, with this forced busing, it's totally against our Constitution, against our laws. Part of our rights as American citizens is to move to the community of your choice, as long as you can afford to pay for it, and send your kids to the school of your choice. But the forced busing thing came along, and they forced county kids into the inner city schools, and the inner city schools, they bused out to the county schools, and it was just a nightmare. All types of rioting and stuff in cities. But I ended up quitting school after boycotting for a while. And then later that year, I went and got my GED, and it was very easy for me to get my GED. I didn't even really study for it. I knew the stuff. I did a pre-test to see where I stood, and I did well, so I just took the test and got my GED. Then a few years later went by, and I married, and there's a 1952 Philadelphia. And so there's a little piece of me that's like, I feel like I just messed up a lot of my education. I lived on the streets for a while when I was younger, and I got some education of hard knocks, but I felt, I guess, like I could do better, and I wanted maybe to prove it to myself, maybe. And so I went to a junior college and got an associate's degree, and I got a 3. I was 1 point away from that cum laude thing. I forget. I had every class was A's and B's, mostly A's, some B's, but I had one class where I missed B by like just a fraction. And I said, can you cut me some slack and give me a B instead of a C? He goes, I got C's in college and you can get one too. Thanks, pal. Thanks. This is row 21, a 1947. The D, and the S are the lower mintage. None of them are over 100 million, but this one's as close to it as the 3 can get. Did you ever think about it, folks? Hoarding nickels could save your life. Yeah, it could. All the hustle and bustle out there and the crazy stuff. Man, I tell you, I'm out there and I'm just seeing crazy wrecks all the time from hedonistic people who think that life rotates around them. And we're sitting at home. We're not stressed out. We're de-stressing, so there's less chances of heart attacks and strokes, provided you're not overeating and you're getting a little bit of exercise. But there's nothing like de-stressing, like going through a box of nickels. So I'm doing this to save my life. I feel so much better thinking about it that way. Last row in the first half of this here box, and here's a 1957. The P only has 39 million, but the D has 136 million. So we're hoping for the P. Oh, and it looks like we got it. 39 million of those guys made. Not too shabby. Yeah, you know, lots of people have lots of health conditions because of stress. Stress causes heart attacks and, oh goodness, so many issues. Strokes, you know. I wouldn't be surprised if sitting here, going through a box of nickels, my blood pressure didn't go down just a little bit, because I'm pretty relaxed. Painting little trees, you know? Happy box of nickels. That's what we got. Happy nickels. Well, this is the fourth row in half two, second half of this box. And we're just trying to find keepable stuff. And we're talking about hunting nickels and saving your life. Maybe we should start a whole new slogan saying, hunt nickels and live. 2024P, number 3, it's right there before us. We saying it very calmly. Imagine walking into the shrink wherever you are and singing a bar of I hunt nickels to live and walking out. You'd probably think I'm weird and wouldn't take me. Imagine 2 people walking in, singing a bar of I hunt nickels to live and walking out. Well, you know what they might think, and they wouldn't take us. But imagine 3 people walking in, singing the bar of I hunt nickels and walking out. They might think it's a movement. 1958, D, I believe. But imagine 50 people a day. Can you imagine 50 people a day walking in, singing the bar of I hunt nickels and live and walking out? Friends, they're going to know it's a movement. They're going to know. Thank you, Arlo Guthrie, for that. We hunt nickels and live. I want to live. Where'd that come from? That came from Apocalypse Now. Do you guys remember that movie? The, oh golly, what's his name? They all came in on helicopters and they were jumping out of their helicopters and going and fighting the Viet Cong. And one of the kids didn't want to get. He might have saying, I'm not going. That's what he was saying. I'm not going. Well, I'm all the way to the 9th row in the second half, and here is a 1941. We're hoping for the D or the S. And we do. We get the D. That one is much lower mintage than the Philadelphia. Cool. So after that last little segment when I had first said, I want to live, but then I realized the line from Apocalypse Now was, I'm not going. I was thinking, I know that this line, I want to live, is from something, because sometimes just weird little things, you know, in life happen, and I'll go, I want to live. And it comes from something. And like, where do I know that from? And I thought about it, and it finally came to me. I didn't get stressed now because we're doing this nickel hunt for my health. But I thought about it, and it comes from a movie with Burt Reynolds and Dom DeLuise called The End. And Burt Reynolds is depressed, and he just wants his life to end. And he, at one point, swims out into the ocean as far as he can go, because then he knows he won't have the energy to swim back. And so he swims way, 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 way out. And he's kind of just letting himself go. And then he goes under. And then just all of a sudden he comes up out of the water. And he goes, I want to live. I want to live. And so then he starts trying to swim back, and he's really struggling. And he starts, it's kind of pathetic and kind of true. He starts making these promises to God. Oh, if you'll let me make this, I'll give my life to you. But and it's so funny, because as he gets closer, his promises start to slowly decrease. It's like, well, I'll read my Bible sometimes, or I'll pray once in a while, that sort of thing. Kind of almost like how humans are, I guess you'd say. That's where it's from. The End. I want to live. I want to live. Hey, folks, looky here. We got ourselves a silver. So it's not a silver spoon, it's a silver nickel, 1943p. Silver's really good for you. It's healthy. If you eat with silver spoons and forks and stuff, they say that it really is good for you. Yeah, man, 1943p, got us a silver. As long as we're doing this nickel hunting for our health now, instead of calling them varieties or errors, I got a new name for them. And we get this name from Bob Ross. Let's call them happy accidents. Look, it's a happy accident. I just found a happy accident. What do you think? Are you on board with me? Do we have a movement? Sitting in a bar of Alice's restaurant and walking out. Friends, they're going to know. Happy accidents. Well, we need to find another silver. Because another thing that Bob Ross says is everybody needs a friend. In my 1943p, he needs a friend. I'm going to put him in that little jar with all the others, but he might want to have another friend to go in there with him. I think the last 10 coins I just turned over, I wasn't paying attention to them. I hope I didn't pass anything up. Oh, boy. And I said 10 as a general number, not to be specific. Well, with 11 rows to go, we come to... Do I say well a lot? I should try to quit saying well a lot. Here is a 1941. We're looking for the D and the S. And it's not. It's not. We're talking about our health here. And I probably, on average, drop 5 to 10 coins per box on the floor. And that is for my stretching exercises. I have to stretch over and pick those bad boys up. So it's like, thanks for falling out of my hand onto the floor. You have my health in mind. I appreciate that. Happy coins. That looks like it might be an old one right there. 1954D. I don't think that's the least. Nope, that's the most. About like 117 million. The P and the S have under 100. Not as many 2024s in this box as I have been getting, but at least I have 3. I am selling a roll to a gentleman that watches my channel. He's asked for one, and I've agreed to sell him one. 7 rolls to go, and here's 1946. Philadelphia. I do believe it was Paul McCartney that sang, drink to me, drink to my health. You know I don't drink anymore. I have not had an alcoholic beverage since 1982. Maybe that's why I'm a little crazy. Golly, golly, folks. Just 1 row to go after this row. But I'm feeling so good. This is a 1958, and it's in nice shape, too. I don't know if it's got the stairs on the Monticello. I doubt that. No. But it's in pretty nice shape for a 1958. What mint mark was that? The D. That's the high mintage one. But still, cool. Pretty nice shape. So, that last song was Paul McCartney. You remember the one that Ringo Starr did? No, 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 I don't smoke it no more. I'm tired of waking up on the floor. No, thank you, please, it only makes me sneeze. And then it makes it hard to find the door. That was the Ringo Starr one. He also did Back Off Boogaloo. Back Off Boogaloo. Now, there was a funny one that Paul did. Man, I think it was in 1971 on the Ram album, if I recall. How did that go? Oh, yeah. I was walking down the street the other day, and who did I meet? I met a friend of mine, and he did say, man, I can smell your feet a mile away. Smile away, smile away, smile away, oh, smile away. Oh, I still remember that song. We are almost done. I should take my blood pressure when I'm done. Well, folks, I didn't find anything in that last roll, but I didn't have any more songs to sing anyway. We got 1 silver, and so that puts us up to silver number 68 for the year. We just keep inching a little closer and a little bit closer. I got 3 2024 Ps and then a couple of older nickels from my hoard. And I got silver, so that makes it a good box to me. And I'm just a little bit healthier than I was when I started. Here's to your health, folks. Good night.